How you doing, YouTube? Matt with Massive Beer Reviews back with yet another review. And it is kind of, sort of pumpkin ale review time with Saucony Creek's Maple Mistress. A couple little caveats with this review. One, technically it's a butternut squash, a ale brewed with butternut squash with maple syrup and spices added. So a little bit outside of your norm when it comes to a pumpkin ale because it's butternut squash as opposed to pumpkin, but still kind of falls into that category for me, and it's my favorite one out of the whole group. One of my favorite beers I reviewed last year, so I definitely wanted to give it a whirl, but I'm going to do this one a little bit different. And then I'm going to review this 4 times. And you'll be like, why are you going to review it 4 times? Well, this is July, the middle of July, and this beer just hit the shelves. All the pumpkin beers are hitting the shelves. Today, when I picked this up, I could have picked this up. I could have picked up Fegley's Devious. I could have picked up Weyerbacher's Imperial Pumpkin. I could pick up Pumpkin. There's a bunch of them out. And I said, you know, it doesn't really appeal to me. Well, pumpkin beers, I do like them. A couple of them. The Imperial ones, a couple of them are pretty good. The barley one's like an almanac. Great, fantastic. It's not even pumpkin beer anymore. Regardless, not really a beer I want to pick up in the middle of July when it's super humid and hot out. But I really like this beer as a standalone, and two, I got what I think is kind of a cool idea, which is review this beer every month until October to see if it actually changes. Because with these beers hitting the shelves now, months before people are actually drinking them, your only option is to buy now and drink later, unless you get a later production of it. And I'm just curious if it's going to change over that amount of time. So, you know, this came in a 4-pack, and I said, perfect idea to do that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to crack this now, I'm going to review this, and I'm just going to do it every single month on the nose. And if that's the case, dead middle of October, when we should all be drinking pumpkin beers, is when I'm going to put up this review. So it's going to take a while for me to do it, but I think it's a cool little experiment. So there you go. Nice winded, uber long introduction. So yeah, let's get to the first one. First one it says in the bottle: Maple Mistress Imperial Ale, ale brewed with butternut squash with maple syrup and spices added. In the autumn of 1720, Captain Jack Rachman and his pirate mates were celebrating their victories in a typical hard-drinking tradition. Suddenly, a British naval sloop surprised them. Pirates hid below deck, leaving Captain Jack's mistress, Anne Bonny, and Mary Reed to defend the ship. The women shared a reputation as fierce hellcats, but the British Navy eventually overtook the pirate ship. Captain Jack and his pirates were sentenced to hang. Anne visited her lover in the cell before his execution, and instead loving words, her scathing comments like on throughout history. That was a weird sentence. I don't think I'm reading it wrong either. Have you fought like a man? You need... had you fought like a man, you need not be hanging like a dog. Saucony Creek, Kutztown, Pennsylvania. There's no EBV on this. I don't see. Yes, 9.5% alcohol by volume. But I'm 99% sure there's no bottling date. I don't see any on here. But I mean, it's probably as fast as it could be. So I'm going to take that whole 4-pack, keep my fridge, same temperature, same everything. I keep my fridge at 48 to 50. So it should be a fun little experiment. Label-wise, it's alright. Saucony Creek's labels are cool. They're getting better. The older ones, like this one, is more traditional label they're kind of sticking with. The art design is cool, but it's a little bit sketchy. But that's just me. But I dig it. It's alright. There you go. Let's see what we got going on here. This is a fantastic beer. So, I mean, I'm not a huge pumpkin beer person, even though this is, you know, a maple syrup beer with butternut squash. But really, if anybody out there has a chance to pick this up, if you like maple beers, or if you like pumpkin beers, but you want something a little bit different, or you want to get into pumpkin beers, but you just can't, this might be for you. So there you go. 2.5, 3 fingers, just off white head, cat-colored head. Really not all that creamy on top. It's kind of falling pretty damn fast. And body-wise, clear, not magnifying glass clear. It is ever so slight. It's a bit of particulates kind of floating around in there, but the ever so slightest bit of carbonation, that's pretty much it. I mean, it looks like a amber ale or a pumpkin ale or a butternut squash ale. So Let's see what she has on her nose. You definitely, and that's why I love this beer, you definitely get butternut. You get butternut squash in there. People say, a lot of people are like, pumpkin doesn't taste like anything. Well, yeah, it does, and yeah, it doesn't, and depending on how you prepare it. This butternut squash comes through huge in this. It's not huge right now, but it's definitely big enough to pick up on. Definitely get the maple syrup there. Not really a ton of spices. Your traditional pumpkin spices, I think what they usually go with this, combined with that butternut squash. You know, a little bit of clove, a little bit of nutmeg, maybe. But yeah, it smells like a pretty damn nice butternut squash beer. So yeah, she looks cool. She smells cool. Let's see what she tastes like. Cheers. Yeah, I mean, pretty much exactly what you're getting in the nose, you're getting in the mouth. Nice butternut squash. Nice maple syrup to it. Not overly sweet. And those spices are a little bit muted to what I remember from last year. That's the other thing you have to take into account. This is another year, another batch, so. But it's overall super pleasant beer. I'm a fan. As I was last year. This beer kind of is a little bit separate for me from the atypical pumpkin beers in that, you know, I just kind of dig them. So, yeah. There you go. Really nice, non-over-the-top butternut squash. Same thing goes for the maple syrup. Muted spices from what I remember. They're still there, but they're not in your face. Nice mouthfeel. I'm not going to be fooled with being big or even above medium. Just a nice medium mouthfeel. And pretty uncrushable. Really not much booze there, which is kind of surprising. Considering it's pretty damn fresh. So yeah, absolutely crush it, especially at that ABV. You know, can't go wrong. Rating wise, as it sits right now, I'm going to give it an 88. I'm not sure what I gave last year. I won't look it up until I record my last video. So I'll give it this an 88 as it stands. Just a really nice beer, really well made. Probably up there, one of my favorite offerings that Saucony Creek does produce. And yeah, not too damn shabby. So yeah, there you go. Round one's in the books. Yeah, so we'll see what happens. Cut this off now, and probably before even I'm saying all this crap, I'll just cut it off, and then we'll move on to the next one, or maybe I'll do it after, or maybe I'll ramble some more, and then I'll cut it into the next one and go from there. So yeah, number one's down. And yeah, see what number two has to offer. Cheers. How you doing, guys? Back with my second Maple Mistress here. I cracked one just about a month ago, and around the 17th of July. It is now the 17th of August. So I'm going to crack into this sucker, see if there's any changes going on from, you know, color, clarity, taste, nose, the whole nine. Do that 4 times up until we reach right around Halloween and see what we got. So let's dive right back into here. I'm not going to go through label and all that crap because we already saw that. So yeah, let's see. Finger and a half, decently creamy top, pretty compact bubbles. Pretty much the same color as it was a month ago. Almost magnifying glass, a little bit of particulate in there, and a decent amount of carbonation. You know, nothing too crazy. Nice orange/reddish kind of hue to it. So it might be just a hair darker based off of memory. Put that there. Hopefully the contrast of the camera is the same. But it looks just a skosh darker to me, based off memory. So let's see what the nose is on this one. It smells like bigger butternut squash now. Starting to get a bit more spice out of it. A little bit of cinnamon, maybe a little bit of nutmeg, a little bit of clove. Yeah, and that's pretty much it. I mean, the squash is still there. It smells maybe a skosh bigger. The spices smell just a little bit bigger than they were last time. They're, from what I remember, it was a little bit rougher to kind of pull those spices out of there, but now I'm getting a little bit more spiciness out of it. And again, like I said, this is all based off memory. I went and watched back real quick just to kind of get a gist of what I did last time. But yeah, so she smells like a Maple Mistress. Let's dive in. spices are way bigger now. Yeah. Not that they're huge. I remember last time it was a little bit muted for me, and now I'm getting a decent amount of spices in there. That cinnamon and nutmeg, what it tastes like, is kind of coming through there. Kind of like your seasonal spice, your pumpkin kind of spice deal going on. Bit spicy. The butternut squash isn't as big as what I remembered in my earlier one. Still there. Might not be a thing where that butternut squash fell out more than the spices kind of built a little bit on it. Kind of making that a little bit more muted because they're a decent amount bigger. And it is a little bit boozy now. I don't remember it being a little bit boozy from last time. I mean, it is, 9.5%. It's not super boozy, but you can get a little bit of kind of, vaporous alcohol kind of going on in there. So yeah, it does taste a bit different from a month ago, which is kind of cool. In a bad way? No. In a good way? No. I think it's kind of even. It's gained some, it's lost some a little bit over the month, but I think it's still kind of, coming into its own, kind of, growing into the beer that it's supposed to be. So there you go. Kind of cool. So there's my second Maple Mistress, August 17th, and wait another month. Throw another one down and see what that sucker has to offer. So there you go. So see you next time. Cheers. And we're back again. We're in the third installment of our Saucony Maple Mistress little showdown thing we have going on here. This is the September, I believe it's September 20th, so I'm off by a couple days. I think I was doing them on the 17th or 19th, I forget. Doing them spacing a month apart, as you probably heard 19 times throughout this whole thing, because I don't need to repeat myself all the time. So we're going to dive into this one and see if there's any change to the Maple Mistress. I haven't rewatched any of the reviews because I don't want any kind of weird influence. I just want to drink them as I have them and then go back and see if there is any change. I mean, honestly, when it comes to beers, you're human, so you're going to have a little bit of change in general, just because your mood and how your day went and all that stuff might play a role in it. Who knows what you ate that day or whatever. But, again, we're not talking science here. 2 fingers, just under 2 fingers, infinitely creaminess on it, super compact bubbles, and crazy cascading carbonation. I mean, there's a lot of carbonation going on in this sucker, so I don't remember that in the other ones. But, hey, we'll find out. So, let's see what the nose has. Definitely smells, based off memory, less spice than what I remember the last 2 times. A little bit more gourdiness to it, almost like it's like a touch of a funky tarty gourdiness now. Maple's not really there, and that sweetness isn't really there. It smells a bit more muted than when I remember it being. But yeah, we'll see what she has in the house. So cheers. Yeah, the maple syrup's there. The spices are very minimal, and that gourdiness is kind of dropped off. I usually get this nice actual butternut squash gourdiness out of it. I'm not really getting here. This is pretty much all maple for me. All maple, touch, ever so slightest touch of spice, and then a very, very minuscule butternut in there. Just remember it being a little bit bolder, a little bit bigger. There you go. Just goes to show you, things change, I guess. Unless they didn't, and that's what I said the last couple times, so we're going to find out. So, there you go. Installment number 3 on the Maple Mistress. So, yeah, one more down, and I'll post it, probably, like I said, closer to Halloween, and then we'll see what's what. So, cheers. And here we are. Last, but not least, the final Maple Mistress of this 4-pack. It is October 19th. Not when I post this, but when I drank this. So we are in the last of our 4 series of Maple Mistress to see if anything changes. I haven't gone back and watched any of the previous reviews for notes. I'm just talking about each one individually to see what I'm getting off it. You have to keep in mind with this whole thing is that, mood experiences throughout your day, things like that can actually change the way beers taste for you subtly, sometimes majorly. So this is a fun little experiment I decided to do, but don't take it as gospel. It's not a end-all be-all thing. It's just I thought it'd be something fun to do to see how pumpkin beers that come out way too early, even though it's a butternut squash beer, how they change. In a 4-pack, I got, like I said previously, leading up to the 4 months, and here we are. So let's dive into this sucker. We're not going to do any of my fancy little bottle opener I got going on here. Because I forgot my bottle somewhere. I don't know where I put it. So, give me a hunk of metal, and I will open any bottle. There you go. Let's see if she has changed at all in any way. So, let's see. Well, I'm going to tell you right now, it looks darker than what I remember it looking. I think I remember last time, the third one of these I did, I said, man, it looked a little bit lighter. I don't know. I don't remember. Looks a little bit darker. Decent carbonation there. Subtle, super subtle haze. It's not like magnifying glass. A little bit of haziness to it. And you got a nice little head going on there. Khaki in color. Fingers worth, give or take. Let's see what she has in the nose. I'm getting a lot of maple now. I think I remember getting very minuscule maple last time. Getting mapleness, I'm getting gourdiness, and I'm getting an ever so subtle mustiness. I don't really think oxidation would be there, but just a touch of like a mustiness. So yeah, maple, not a lot of spices on the nose, gourds, and that butternut squash is in there, and just a touch of mustiness. So, cheers. Spices are definitely there in the mouth. Really nice. The maple's there too, and the squash is there too. It's very equal parts now. They taste very 1, 2, 3. It's not like more of one or the other. Nice creamy mouthfeel. Not over the top creamy, but a nice creaminess there. Yeah, definitely getting equal parts. Equal parts spice. Getting a little bit of that, pumpkin-y spice. Mostly nutmeg, cinnamon. Maybe a touch of allspice there. Nutmeg, cinnamon, and leader in the clubhouse. You're getting that maple syrup, and then you're getting that nice butternut squashiness. But like I said, they're definitely equal parts. It's not unbalanced. Nice mouthfeel, decent carbonation. Yeah, it's a beer I really like. I do enjoy it. Like I said, I reviewed it last year. It was one of my surprise beers of last year. Really enjoyed it, and definitely I bought a 4-pack to drink over the past 4 months, but I bought a couple 4-packs since then just to drink, and I usually don't do that with pumpkin beers unless they're like over the top pumpkin beers like Rumpkin or something like that. So this beer just kind of does it for me. It gives you that nice butternut squashiness. It gives you maple, which who the fuck doesn't like maple syrup in their beers? And yeah, I just dig it. I think this might be the favorite iteration or month or bugs floating around here. It's cold. I don't know why there's little fruit flies floating around. But anyway, it might be, I think this might be my favorite. I think that 4 months might have served it proper. Again, like I said, subtlety. Your tastes and moods change, as does your tastes and moods for beer. So it's cold out. It's getting fall. Who knows? Maybe that does it for me. But there you go. Fun little experiment. 4 months in the making. And it was just a fun little thing to do. I kind of enjoyed doing it. So, yeah, if you want to watch just a basic Maple Mistress review, you can go back to my last year review and check that out. But it was just a fun little experiment to do. I don't think those 4 months impacted it majorly. I don't think companies waiting on it, or specifically Saucony Creek waiting on this, if they released it more in October, would help majorly, but it helps a little bit. So there you go. If you like the beer, drink it. But if you like it at its peak, I think 2-3 months, maybe 4, they do it proper. There you go. Another little weird, experimenty thing in the books. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. If you did or you didn't, whatever, leave a comment in the comment section below. Massive Beers that's where you can check us out anywhere else on the internet. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram on tap. Just type in Massive Beers, find us there. Yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed this experiment. Hopefully you're enjoying a nice Maple Mistress right now. And hope to see you next time. Cheers.